I am stoked. I don't know what to say, but I'm going to take time to thank everybody for being a part of my podcast journey. It has been an awesome experience. I love everything that I'm doing. Excuse me. I'm super excited to see where the journey is going to take me. It's been an awesome adventure so far. I can't thank everybody enough for being a part of this, for being a part of the One Fun Guy podcast family. There's so many people to thank, but the list is going to go on. You know who you are. You guys mean the world to me. The podcast is my passion. It's something I've always wanted to do. There's no secret about that. I don't know where this video is going to go or who's going to see it or the outreach. It is my first live podcast on YouTube. But the great thing about this is one of two things. First off, I can go live from here, which is great, which is number one. And number two is I can use StreamYard now to go live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram all at the same time, which is what I'm going to do next. I'm going to implement that into my world of podcasting. So tomorrow, my guest is going to be Paranoia Threat. She is awesome. She is a fantastic human being with an amazing job. She has a talent for social media. She is in a stratosphere above me, but I aspire to be what she has done. Hard work, dedication, and time. It's not easy. So anybody that's on social media knows that it is work. You have to take time to find people, to talk to people, to go live, to make yourself known, to get the algorithms up. There's no secret to it, but it's not easy. It just doesn't come. So all the guys that I follow, I've said this one time, I'll say it 10,000 times. Sean Ryan is the guy that I emulated my podcast off of. He is the guy that I watched. I was always intrigued by his style. He's a former Navy SEAL, a former CIA. The guy knows his stuff. And he's got an incredible show with an incredible cast of people. Now, his podcast style is what I based mine off of. I like the conversation style. He's an amazing person with an amazing background. I am currently in my career still active, so I can't do as much and say as much as I want to. Those of you know. If you don't watch some of my videos, you'll quickly find out. So with that being said, I can do what I can do, right? I can make the most of things. I can make the best of things. There's certain subject matters that I just can't talk about. There's certain subject matters that I kind of just don't want to talk about. Obviously, politics and religion are the big two, right? I have my views on both, and so does everybody else. I can't change somebody's heart or mind about that. So with that being said, I shy away from those topics. Now, if they get brought up in a conversation, sure, I'll address it and I'll talk about it. But those aren't going to be the main focus of my podcast where some people are. Again, I don't want to call anybody out or put anybody on blast. That's not what I'm doing. My podcast is meant to educate. It's meant to entertain. It's meant to empower. If I could do those things, I'm happy. I don't need to put anybody down. I don't need to bash on anybody's profession. I don't need to say what my feelings on politics are. If you know me, you kind of know, but that's private. I don't need to make that stuff public. That's not what this is about. I interview my guests based on their likes and their topics that they want to discuss, things that's going on in their lives, family, friends, work, hobbies, things like that. We all have different walks of life. We all have different things. And that's what makes podcasting great, because I can delve into that. I've been very fortunate enough in my career to take some classes that have shown me how to get information from people, right? How to talk to people, how to have conversations, how to get on a one-to-one level with them. It's not easy. I've taken much time and I've worked my craft well. But I feel confident enough that I can do that with pretty much anybody now, right? So I could take somebody from category A, B, C, and D and find something in common with all of them, whether it's, something as similar as a background or a family structure, something like that, or, things that we do. I find the common ground. Podcasting is the same thing, right? When you interview a guest, You might not know anything about them. Your job is to find out what they're about, how we met, what we do, what our hobbies are, what our passions are, right? I was talking the other day on my live that I thought maybe I would do a bi-weekly podcast with a guest, but do like a guest and then do a podcast myself, right? Where I talk about stuff, talk about my life, talk about my career, talk about my choices, the equipment I use, things like that. I know I mentioned something about like maybe doing some like product reviews of things I used, right? Gear bags, different weapons, things like that. I don't have to, it's just an idea. But I kind of want you guys to know me as a person as well as just my podcast, right? I want to grow my channel, and with that is growing myself, right? Things that I'm interested in. I could talk wrestling, I could talk music, I could talk pretty much about anything, right? But I kind of thought maybe it might be a cool thing to open the door for you guys to maybe to get to know me a little bit better on a personal level. And then that way you can have an idea of how I interview my guest or who I pick to be on my show or what I want to have happening in the future, right? Because my goal is to not stop, guys, right? I want to do this in my retirement. So I'm starting now. So by the time I get to that point, my channel's grown, and then into the future, right? Better equipment, better studio, right? Like I have where I'm at now. It's awesome, right? It's comfortable. It's great. The acoustics are good, but I think that I can grow, right? So maybe one day I can actually move into like a studio, right? Get a nice big table, get, equipment, hire a team, right? Maybe I can get some developers and some producers and some people that do my stuff, right? Maybe get a team going. That would be down the road, right? That because I'm a basically I said earlier I'm a one-man show, but a two-person show, right? Because my wife helps me with a ton of stuff. She's my guide. She tells me what to do on social media, how to navigate it, But I'm pretty much a guy with an iPad, a phone, and a microphone. Like this is my stuff, guys. I don't have anything major or anything great or anything over the top. One day I will, right? That's the goal, is to eventually have that where I set up where I actually have the equipment that would be ideal. But for now, it works. I didn't spend a lot of money on the stuff. I have a laptop, a phone, and an iPad. And this is it, guys. So again, down the road, maybe I'll be able to get a monitor and an equalizer and stuff like that, and then actually have somebody, that does film, right? That could actually direct and produce and, do all that kind of stuff. Multiple camera angles, better equipment. But for now, it's just me, right? And like I said earlier, I embrace this because maybe when I get 1,000 subscribers, and then 10,000 subscribers, and then 100,000 subscribers, and then 1,000,000 subscribers, I can look back on these first 10 episodes or 15 episodes and say, wow, look at how great it was what I was doing back then versus where I'm at now, and embrace that journey. That's what life is all about. It's about the journey. So with that being said, guys, I just wanted to thank everybody for subscribing. The 100 is a big step for me, guys. That's a milestone. Excuse me. It's been something that I've wanted to do for a while, and that was my main goal from the get-go, was to get StreamYard going. Obviously, I had a couple people that were pivotal in that, right? Insane Joe was one of them in the Insane Asylum podcast, and History Buff was another one. Those guys showed me the ropes, told me what to use, where to go, between StreamYard and Streamlab and Audio Boom and all these other things where I can get my podcast up and running, right? So now that I have the 100 subscribers on YouTube, the sky's the limit. Now I can take off, right? That train is now going. The momentum's been built. So it's just moving forward now. The steam is pumping, and it's throwing coal on the fire and getting this thing going. So for me, it's awesome because now I can actually maneuver myself to grow even more, which is what the object of the podcasting, world is, right? To start small and get a community and build and build and build and grow and grow and grow. So that's what I'm doing. So like I said before, the guy that I emulated was Sean Ryan. Another guy was Andy Stumpf. I like their stuff. The Cleared Hot podcast is great. The Sean Ryan show is great. Those were the guys that I watched and said, hey, I can do this. So thank you to those guys. They don't know me. I don't know them. I would love to get to know them. They are awesome human beings, and what they've done for our nation and our country is, admirable. I mean, they served with the highest, amount of dignity and respect that they could, and they're awesome guys for that. So down the road, I would love to get to know them, but as of right now, those are the people that I emulated, right? Everybody knows Joe Rogan, everybody knows Howard Stern, but those guys, I resonated with those two guys, right? Andy Stumpf and Sean Ryan are the two guys that I was like, oh, I could do this. They can do it. I can do it. And so they resonated with me the most. And I like their style, and I like how they do it, and how they run their programs. And if you aren't familiar with them, I strongly suggest watching the Queered Hot podcast or the Sean Ryan Show with Vigilance Elite. He is on YouTube. Just you search him, Google him, search him. Sean Ryan Show, Andy Stumpf, they'll pop up. Their stuff is great, and all the other guys, right? So the guys that I watch on the basis, the David Goggins and the Jocko Willnicks and all those, they're great. But I resonated with those two guys, right? So those were the formulas that I used, the style that I used. Now, I didn't steal any of their stuff, right? I didn't take their lines and plagiarize their stuff, by any stretch of imagination. But I was like, I like their setup. I like their style. I like the way they talk to people. They have fun. They laugh. They have a good time. They tell stories. That's what I like to do, guys, right? So, in my line of work, that's what we do, right? That's how we get through a lot of the stuff. We tell our stories. We tell our experiences. Some of them are traumatic when they're happening, when they are, kind of language balls to the wall. But when they're done and you look back on it and you can laugh and say, wow, look, what were we thinking? Like, how did we get into that? That's what this is about. And that's why I love those guys in their show. That's what makes them especially entertaining for me. So again, that's what I want to do, right? I want to entertain, I want to educate, and I want to empower. So hopefully you guys find some, information that I share useful, that I'm entertaining, that I'm a good host. I that's what I try to do. I try to find great guests. I try to make my show as enjoyable as I can. I try to bring something to the table all the time. And, sometimes I just have fun, right? So like when I was on with my buddy James, right? We talked wrestling and we did our factions. It was awesome, right? That was fantastic. If you're not a wrestling fan, you probably said, well, who are these two goofs talking about wrestling? Well, I had a great time, right? James is, one of my best friends in the world, and I love him like a brother. When I had Matt on, right, we talked about his time with the Mets. I mean, how cool is that, right? How many people can say that they rubbed elbows with professional athletes? That's awesome, right? So those were fun stories, right? My cousin Chris and his son Anthony, when they were on, right, we had a conversation about life, and things that I was able to ask an 18-year-old, right? How do I have access to one of those, right? So Anthony was great talking about social media and how we navigated it. And, when me and Chris were kids, if we had a camera and we hit play, we might be the Mr. Beast of our generation, right? Because we did some awesome stuff and we had a killer time. There was nobody around. There were no cameras. There was nothing to record. You didn't pull out a cell phone and hit, record. But had we had, we might be, the 7-8 million subscribers and buying people's houses and living in Beverly Hills in a mansion somewhere, right? That could have been us because we did all the stuff. Anything Mr. Beast does now, I've done when I was his age and younger and just didn't have means to record it. So who knows, right? We joke around. You're either going to end up in social media grace or in jail, right? So it's one of the two. But it's just stuff like that though. Looking back on it, was fun, right? So for me, it's the experience. I love the journey, and that's what I'm doing. So this was a thank you to everybody for the 100 subscribers. And I'm making this video and I'm posting it to YouTube. So like I said, in 5 years down the line, when I hopefully have the 1 million subscribers, I can look back and say, wow, this is where I started. This was me 5 years ago, right? In my makeshift studio with my makeshift equipment, right? That to me is awesome, right? I love the journey. I love the experience, and I love everything about it. I'm passionate about it. I'm excited about it, and I like to have fun. So I think what I'm going to do is try to wrap this up now. I don't know who watches this or who sees this. It's my first time live on YouTube. So I'm going to navigate the process. Hopefully I can upload the video. People can see it and like it. If they want to share it, if they want to thumbs up it, awesome. Leave me a comment. Let me know if there's something I can do better, if there's something I need to change. I don't know what to do, guys. I'm super stoked, right? I'm like on cloud 9 right now that I hit 100, right? And again, that in the grand scheme of YouTube, 100 is like nothing, right? That's like a speck of dust on a table, right? But more and more specks of dust get the table, people start to notice, hey, you need to clean your table off, right? So finally, when you get all the specks of dust and the table's coated in it, when somebody needs to get a bottle of spray and wipe it down, that's where I want to be down the road, right? I want to be that, bottle getting wiped off, right? That I got all these specks of dust on the table that, I created. So that's the goal, guys. So with that being said, thank you all for subscribing to my podcast. I'm one fun guy across the platform, guys. I am here on YouTube. I am over on Facebook. I am on TikTok, and I am on Instagram. One Fun Guy podcast across the board, guys. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. Share my stuff. Ask everybody you know to subscribe. Tell everybody about me. That's the goal, right? Is to get myself out there. So if you see this, say, hey, I found this podcast. You should check it out. And friends are friends, right? The add-on to the add-on to the add-on, right? That's what I'm trying to do. Make this as fun, as enjoyable as I can. I don't know, like I said, who's on. I don't know. I can't see comments, so I don't know what's happening right now. This is my first one ever, so I'm super excited. And I'm just rolling with the punches, guys. So again, I'm One Fun Guy podcast across the board. If you like what you see, please share my show, like it, comment, leave messages. I reply back to everybody. This is awesome. So if you can see this, let me know. Shoot me a message later. Say, hey, I saw you on YouTube. When this goes live, leave a comment. Say, hey, I saw it. I liked it. Let me know if I could do something better. Let me know if you want to be a guest on my show. Let me know if you know somebody who wants to be a guest on my show. Leave me a message here on YouTube. Find me over on TikTok. Send me a message there. I'm onefunguypodcast@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. I'll respond. Other than that, guys, I just wanted to say thank you all for the love and support. Thank you for watching me. Thank you for following me. Thank you for liking my stuff, sharing my stuff, and helping me grow this community. I am so blessed to have you all be a part of this. It has been an amazing experience so far. The journey's only just begun, guys, so this is just the start of something great. I hope that I can, be of value to you in the future, and I hope you like what you see. That, again, is my goal, right? I am here to entertain, I am here to educate, and I'm here to empower. If I can do those things, guys, it's a win for me. So thank you all again. I'm One Fun Guy podcast. You can find me across all the platforms. This is my first ever live YouTube video, guys, so give me the thumbs up. Show me all the love. I don't know if I have to do anything different or when I do it next time live. But if you are on here live and I don't see you, thank you. I can't see anybody on. I can't see comments. But if you are on, thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this. If you want, I'll be on TikTok in a little bit. You can find me live over there. Thank you guys for all the love and support, for everybody that's been a part of this. Thank you for the journey. Thank you for the experience. Thank you for everything, guys. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I cannot thank you guys enough for being a part of this. So I am the One Fun Guy podcast. I will be here for a long time, guys. So if you like what you see, start getting the word out. Hopefully down the road, guys, like I said, I can have those big names on my show, right? Maybe Sean Ryan will say, hey, I like what you're doing. I want to be a guest on your podcast. Or maybe he'll invite me on his, and, who knows what'll happen. But, for the time being, guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am the One Fun Guy podcast. I really appreciate all the love and support. Again, I can't say that enough. I'll say it 1,000 times, and I'll say it 1,001 times now. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the support that you have shown me, all the love, all the gratitude, all the graciousness. It means the world to me. I am the One Fun Guy podcast, and I am signing off for tonight. Find me over on TikTok in a little bit. I'm going to see what happens after I hit the end button and where this video goes. Thank you all again, guys. One Fun Guy podcast. See you on the next one.